Hello Fantasy Faithfuls and welcome to Dalvin Cook's 2020 Fantasy Snapshot.
Vikings offense today, and now on first down it's Cook, has running room, inside the 10, to the end zone, he dives!
In 2020, the Minnesota Vikings and Dalvin Cook will be facing a group of teams that last year gave up 400.3 fantasy points to running backs in PPR, 6th most in the NFL with 4.29 yards per carry and 13 touchdowns on average. Breaking down his rushing, there are several things that stand out. Mainly that he is the top running back with the fewest number of carries in the A-gap together with Nick Chubb and Alvin Kamara. The play calling takes them away from just straight up the gut and even the B-gap with runs being more focused on the outside lanes. And this is pretty darn amazing for a guy like Cook. He is super productive on runs outside the tackles and outside the ends, while he suffers in the A-gap and on runs in the right B-gap. The play calling fits him perfectly and will help him to stay healthy, as runs up the middle usually leads to more wear and tear. And the opponent that fits his strengths the best is the Houston Texans. They gave up 5.3 yards per carry to opposing running backs in Dalvin Cook's best lane outside the left end, so be sure to start him in DFS for that game. I would like to take a second to remind you to hit that like button, leave a comment what you think about this video, and subscribe to the channel. I love every interaction I have with y'all, and every little bit helps me put out even more content. Cook's one-game floor is 11 points and ceiling 26.8 based on the last 3 years in PPR. This ranks as the 4th highest floor and the 7th highest ceiling for running backs. And the likeliness of him scoring above the ceiling and booming is high at 6.7, while his bust risk below the floor is okay at 4.7. With more play time, these numbers will start to even out a little bit more. His touchdown rate last year was 4.2%, which is the sweet spot just above league average, so we don't have to worry about consistency. He can continue to score just as much in the future. Based on my market share study, I have him predicted for 260 carries and for 70 targets in 2020. Not that much more than last year, but just adding a few more touches. Dalvin Cook was extremely usable last year, and with him bouncing between RB1 and RB2 almost every week, he beat out Christian McCaffrey with one usable game and was just one behind Ezekiel Elliott. The situation breakdown for him shows that he has some fluctuations depending on the situation, with him being a bit better at home and a lot better against good rushing defenses, which is pretty uncommon. Only him and Aaron Jones and Raheem Mostert got this big of a swing here. And he scores a bit more against teams above 500, which is a great stat. Last year, he saw 43 red zone carries and only 2 targets. With those touches, he scored 12 touchdowns, which is great. He's on the upper side of the success rate, and when not receiving any touchdowns in the air, I think we'll have to lower his red zone touchdowns next year to 11. The average risk of Dalvin Cook not scoring above 10 fantasy points last year was 5%, same as Derrick Henry, and 1% lower than Aaron Jones. After Cook, there won't be any back with single-digit risk anymore. Based on his current ADP of 4th overall and all the numbers I laid out in this video, I give him a draft grade of B+. In conclusion, with a potential holdout still there, even if Mike Zimmer has said that he is reporting, I am a bit conservative. I like pretty much everything about him except the contract situation and the fact that you have to pay such a high price for him.
On the second and goal, they hand it to Cook, and he will find the end zone for a touchdown.
Hello Fantasy Faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.